Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and today's battlefield analysis, we're going to look into the breakthrough over in the northern flank of the Pokrovsk Front. So this is Pokrovsk over here, this Pokrovsk, and the front line we are looking at is over here. The main concern is actually due to this highway from Pokrovsk leading through Milorad and then leading all the way up north, and in this direction is actually heading towards Konstantinivka over here. This is Konstantinivka. So this highway is pretty important because Pokrovsk used to be one of these end of a railway line for the Ukrainian reinforcement to the Donetsk area. I'm not sure if the railway line is still operating today for reinforcement usage, but from here they can actually transport troops up the highway leading all the way to Konstantinivka, which then leads to the reinforcement and resupply of the Bakhmut front. And of course, so this highway is very important, and of course this highway also pretty much feeds the entire of this Torex and New York front. So this is important in that sense. However, in lately, just the past few days, Russian forces have made this advance. They have basically captured Vozdvyzhenka, which is this settlement around here. The Russian forces basically have captured it in the latest mapping from Deep State UA. You can see that the gray zone basically encompasses the entire settlement, and they have actually captured the most of it. So this is basically cope already. This area is cope, unless they are suggesting that the Ukrainians have this tree line. So let's assume that's going to be true. And so this is also pretty much where I have mapped the Ukrainian troops. So with the capture of so the Russian forces most likely have captured the entire Vozdvyzhenka. They have all of these lines. Let me move that word away. So this, and probably this trench line, and they have some defense troops. Yeah, so this is probably the Russian position at Vozdvyzhenka, and Ukrainians probably are holding up in the forest here, as well, of course, the heavy entrenchment as well as the tree line. And they probably is not going to be very near to the settlement, but they will be along the tree lines. And of course, at this area here, there's some alleged heavy entrenchment. I would imagine there's some troops around these sectors, and yeah, and then this is where they stand off. So this is what they're going to look like at this moment. The Russian forces currently is clearing out the area, but they will not be able to take this sector, which the Ukrainian mapping currently claims that is not taken without the clearing of these tree lines over here, as well as this fortification. So what is likely to happen is we are going to see the Russian forces attacking this tree line and the fortification first to secure the entire settlement, and we'll probably see also an attack to clear out this tree line, as well as the eastern shore of this reservoir. This is most likely going to happen. Terrain-wise, there's nothing particularly outstanding, if you ask me. The northern route looks a bit higher, but this is non-consequential. It's not that high. So this area here is a hill, so leaning downwards, but little bit. It's not the gradient is not that big. It's not going to make a difference in terms of warfare per se. There's nothing we can see. We can't really drop in. There's nothing to drop in on. So yeah, we can't really appreciate the area here. So that's what it is. So this Vozdvyzhenka. So on the more strategic scale, so there is the situation there. But if you zoom out a bit, we're gonna see that this is the highway that leads all the way to from Pokrovsk, Milorad, all the way to Konstantinivka. There is a junction around here, and this is another road. But of course, this road is already useless because the Russian forces are here. So according to the Russian mapping, they also claim that they have advanced in this sector. They have taken this reach, this like gully region, the forest, the heavy entrenchment, and then they have taken some of these areas. So they definitely have all this. If this is true, as of course as mentioned, the settlement, the heavy entrenchment. So we are repeating some of these lines that we draw first. So we have the Ukrainian forces, the heavy entrenchment, the tree lines, This is what we have drawn just now. And then, so in the grander scale, we have the heavy entrenchment here, the 3 lines in these areas. Yeah, and this is probably where the Ukrainian forces is currently holding the defense. Yeah, it's going to be like this. The rear positions, although there's a lot of entrenchment, trust me, not going to be a lot of soldiers going to be there, the very few, because you're not going to put troops in the rear position, heavily, like too many troops. The focus is still going to be on the front line, the rear position. There will be troops in these trenches to maintain it and to make sure that there's no, like, who knows, that there might be no helicopter raids, or parachute troopers, although tentatively unlikely, but they're going to be holding positions in the rear just to maintain the fortification for future use. I don't think they will be sending any troops to heavily man all these fortification in the rear positions because they will be useless. So the main forces will be in the front lines in like this. And so the Russian forces are unlikely to go this way. I don't think this is going to be happening. It's not going to be going this way because the priority target is going to be here. So the Russian forces, what do they face at this moment? What they need is, of course, as I mentioned, they need to secure the settlement. So this will become the forward operating base, the Vozdvyzhenka, and then they will be able to hit down the 3 lines. They will attack the 3 lines in these few regions. There is a heavy entrenchment that is protecting. They know that this is a very vulnerable like junction. Like, this is a very strategically important junction, which is why there is so many entrenchment in all of these areas here, protecting the road. And but they probably did not expect the enemy to come from this direction. They probably expecting the enemy to come from the east, which is why the fortification is all facing eastward. So if the fortification is all on the east, then there's a possibility. So let me draw out the possible Ukrainian positions. Then the most likelihood the Russians will go for is probably going from the west. So I believe the Russians could also, after securing this entrenchment, securing this place as the 4 operating positions, they will go for the fortification, and then take the 3 line, go down these fields, and then entrench some troops, and then they'll cut the highway. They don't have to take the highway junction per se, but even going to this area with this attack down this western side, I think they will be able to cut the road and then make this entrenchment here look very, very stupid. So that's what's likely to be happening. Ukrainian forces definitely will not let the Russians do this very easily, but there is some very serious morale issues in the Ukrainian side. With the latest news, like the troops training in France, many of them, like thousands of them, deserted, creating some big hoo-ha in the Ukrainian press. A lot of big shit is happening. And History Legend also just dropped a video about why Ukrainian troops are leaving the fields or leaving the forces, deserting. So maybe you should watch it as well. Alex always do very good research, so yeah, definitely on point. And so this is the current look. I don't think the Russians will just storm head through the entrenchment. Probably they go for the swing from this area where there's lesser heavy entrenchment, and then from here they can actually spread out. At a cost strategic situation, they swing, and then they'll battle for the junction, and then secure a strong position in this junction area here, and then there will be a massive headache for the Ukrainian forces. So again, these areas looks really flat. I don't think there is going to be any like terrain, geography that makes any big issues like a big hill or something. So everything looks pretty flat around here. So that's what we're looking at this moment. Other front lines, other side nearby, these are all going to be pretty static. Minograd region, Mykolaiivka, Mariupolka. I think all these will be later. I think this is just such a tasty target, very juicy target for the Russians. They are not very far away. you are talking about a distance of merely like 3 kilometers. But yeah, like you can see from this top view, this Ukrainian defense is all facing east. They're all facing eastward. So, and you can see even this trench line is all facing eastward. They are expecting Russians to be heading like this. So which means that the direction the Russians should go is the rear position like this. And you can see the next line of defense for the Ukrainians is over here. Everything is facing east. So the Russians should would predictably go in this way, hitting the rear positions. And yeah, and that will cause some pretty massive problems for the Ukrainian forces. So, and you can see even the retrenchment, everything is facing east. Everything is facing east. So, and why is it coming from the east? Because they thought that the Russians were like, no, yeah, that will just sweep through like this. But anyway, that's the analysis for this one. So anyway, a very simple simple analysis. Because just want to break down further because I'm not going to be able to do this during SIPRAP. Like yeah, it will be too long. But for standalone video, I think it's pretty fine. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think the Russians would prioritize this target or no? This is just another diversion. Yeah, whatever it is, what the stuff for 2025, and I'll see you guys in the next update.